Welcome everyone to another startup and automobile documentation. What we have here is a 2014 Chevrolet Cruze 2LT. This Cruze is painted in tungsten metallic. On the key, you have the buttons for lock, unlock, trunk release, remote start, and panic. The front door panels have storage areas with bottle holders, and it does have power windows, locks, and mirrors. 2LT models come with leather seat upholstery, and this one has the jet black interior color scheme. It has a partially powered driver's seat with a power seat base and manual seat back, and a fully manual front passenger seat. And now that we're behind the wheel, let's go ahead and start the engine. The globally developed Chevy Cruze compact car made its debut in the North American market for 2011 as a replacement for the Chevy Cobalt. The model would then last for 2 generations before being discontinued after 2019 in North America and after 2023 as a whole. Nonetheless, the Cruze was still a massive success for GM, with over 3 million having been sold globally as early as 2014. Interestingly, the Cruze was sold in North America with a diesel engine for a big chunk of its run, and it was crazy efficient. We're talking close to 50 mpg highway for certain years. Eventually, the Cruze was phased out in favor of crossovers and SUVs, but that's not to say the Cruze wasn't quite popular during its time. This 2014 model represents the first generation of the Cruze, codenamed J300, which was sold in the US market from model years 2011 through 2015 as the Cruze and 2016 as the Cruze Limited. Although it was made as a sedan, a hatchback, and a wagon, North America only got the first-gen Cruze as a sedan. Co-developed by Daewoo, the first-gen Chevy Cruze rides on the GM Delta II platform, which was also utilized by cars like the Buick Verano and the 4th-gen Opel and Vauxhall Astra. For 2015, the Chevy Cruze got a mild facelift, and for 2016, the Cruze entered its second generation, but the outgoing first-gen Cruze was carried over into 2016 as well under the name Cruze Limited. The US market 2014 model year Chevy Cruze was offered in the following trim levels: LS, 1LT, Eco, 2LT, 2.0 turbo diesel, and the range-topping LTZ. 3 different engines were available, including a base 1.8-liter naturally aspirated inline-4 in LS models, a 2-liter turbo diesel inline-4 in the namesake 2.0 TD models, and a 1.4-liter turbocharged gas inline-4 in all the other trims. As for transmissions, the diesel came only with a 6-speed automatic, while both gas engines, depending on the trim, could be had with either a 6-speed manual or automatic. In Chevy's US 2014 sedan lineup, the compact Cruze was slotted between the subcompact Sonic and the midsize Malibu. In the instrument cluster, we have 4 analog gauges, which are your tachometer, speedometer, fuel gauge, and temperature gauge, with the rest of the info being located in this digital display, which can be gone through via the controls on the turn signal stalk. So you have the menu button, you can go between trip and option, but under option we can scroll up and down. You have your voltage, tire pressure, oil life, that kind of stuff, and then over to here, go to your trip computers, digital speedometer, various other pieces of vehicle information. It has a 3-spoke design, leather-wrapped, and multifunctional steering wheel. It does have sport grips. And as for controls, on this side you'll find your cruise controls, and on this side you'll find your audio controls, and along with your Bluetooth and hands-free phone controls. The steering wheel is tilt and telescopic. You have your headlight switch, panel dimmer, climate vent for the driver. On this side you have your high beam, turn signal, and information display stock, while on this side you'll find your wiper stock. Going down the center of the interior, there is a storage compartment up top, but the latch is kind of broken. You have your central climate vents, and here's the touchscreen interface for your MyLink infotainment system. We'll go over the system more in a bit. You also have some physical radio controls, volume power tuning knobs, seat track, and you also have some various shortcut buttons for the infotainment system itself. Passenger airbag indicator, power door lock switch is located right here, interestingly enough. Hazard switch. Below that, you have a set of single-zone manual climate controls, very simple, with your temperature dial and fan speed dial, along with your different zones, recirculation, AC, front and rear defrost. And you also have 3-stage heated front seats. A little bit of storage just ahead of the shifter. Next to the shifter, you have your traction control toggle button. You have some storage, 2 cup holders, a 12-volt power outlet. The parking brake is hand-operated. And you have a center console with some storage, along with an aux port and a USB port. Both sun visors do have vanity mirrors. Manually dimming rear view with OnStar, overhead lighting, and there are grab handles for all 4 corners. And finally, here's the MyLink infotainment system in this 2014 Chevy Cruze 2LT. So we have a home screen right here, but then you can also push your sources, radio sources. You have AM, FM, plus Sirius XM, and then your Bluetooth audio streaming, plus you still have a CD player in this car. But you have your phone menu, now playing info on your, this is your main menu stuff. You can bring up your tone, bass, mid, treble, equalizer, that kind of stuff. You can also bring that up with this shortcut button as well. Under configuration settings, this is pretty self-explanatory. You got all sorts of stuff. Local weather, movies, fuel, if you have a Sirius XM Travel Link subscription. I actually am pretty impressed with this Cruze. I mean, it's a compact car, but the 2LT trim level, you got some pretty nice stuff. I mean, the leather seats, leather steering wheel, heated seats. You know, 10 years ago, it was pretty nice to have, you know, Bluetooth audio streaming, plus XM, you know, all your connectivity options. I think it's a decently well-equipped little compact car, and I think you get a pretty good amount of stuff for what you pay for one of these. But now we'll roll down the driver's window and have a look at the engine bay. All 4 windows are automatic down, and the driver's one is automatic up as well. This Cruze is riding on aftermarket 17-inch 9-spoke rims from Raceline. The 2014 Cruze 2LTs are powered by GM's Ecotec 1.4-liter turbocharged inline-4 engine. It has an iron block, an aluminum head, dual overhead camshafts, 4 valves per cylinder, and variable valve timing. Horsepower is rated at 138 at 4,900 RPM, while torque is rated at 148 pound-feet at, in automatic transmission models, 1850 RPM. Power is sent to the front wheels via this car's 6-speed automatic transmission with a manual mode. Running on regular unleaded with a 15.6-gallon fuel tank, updated EPA estimates for a Cruze equipped like this one are 26 mpg in the city and 36 mpg on the highway. It has a McPherson strut front suspension and a Z-Link compound crank rear suspension. The 2LT trim does get 4-wheel disc brakes. Storage and bottle holders in the back door panels as well. Folding rear seats. Both front seats have mat pockets on the backs. You have coat hooks. Rear passengers do get a 12-volt power outlet, along with a folding center armrest containing 2 cup holders. And as for space, I'm about 6'1" with the driver's seat in a pretty comfortable position for myself. Headroom is actually not too bad. My head's not hitting the roof. Footroom is okay, but as you can see, legroom is a little bit cramped. But that can be forgiven because this is a compact car, and it is not totally uncomfortable. Definitely a usable back seat, just not cavernously spacious. Has a single exhaust. The Cruze 2LT offers 15 cubic feet of trunk space. The back seats can also be folded down to add more space. And as seen earlier, the fuel cap is on the passenger side. Anyhow, thanks for checking out this tour of this 2014 Chevrolet Cruze. And as always, stay on the lookout for future tours.